Hey everybody, welcome back to Pardon the Board Games. My name's Rob Snow. Today we're going to continue working on Malek, the Necromancer from Reaper Miniatures. I'm busting open my wet palette here. Of course I should have done before I started the stream, but didn't take that long. So, last time we left I put some of the the Night Haunt glow or whatever on his chest and face there. It has not come out as well as I was hoping, so I'm going to try to do some cool stuff with some cool paints as we go forward here, and I have no idea how this is going to end up looking. We're going to start with a Citadel Technical Paint Soulstone Blue, so we're going to start with that and just see if this can. I really want to shake it up. We're just going to see if this can help in some way bring out the Night Haunt gloom. That's what we used yesterday on there. And give it some gloominess. Alright. Here we go. This is a really bright blue color. Kind of painting down in the cracks here is my goal. So I'm using this dry brush, just going to pull some of the paint off of the face there, because I really just want it in the recesses. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Okay, we're just trying to get some of the paint that rode up a little bit off of the exterior bones. Now I have a plan for that too, to try and make that look a little better. Okay. The other place we're going to add this is here on the sword edge. A little bit too much paint on the brush there. And again, we're just messing around with some of these details and these technical paints, just kind of seeing what do they do, like how do they look. I've never used them before, so this is just, just a chance for me to see some of their qualities. All right. Alright, there we go. We're going to kind of leave that how it is. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take one of those, we're going to take kind of a smaller brush here, and take our, what's this one? This is called the Psycho. I don't know if I need something that small. We'll go with our, just our fine detail Citadel brush. We're actually going to work a little bit on the base of this guy. We're going to put some Dab Black, which is a wash from Citadel. It's going to go, we're just going to kind of wash out over the skulls on the bottom of this thing. On the base down here. And actually it's going to get used in a couple other places too. So, this is one of those things where the paint does so much of the work. Because we're just brushing it over everything down here. And we're just going to spread it around, and it's going to fill in all the cracks of the skulls. Give them that kind of classic pirate skull feel. And because we haven't done anything on the rest of the base yet, we don't even have to worry about that. I mean, you see the skulls were a little bright earlier, but now they're kind of getting that nice, the Bedab Black kind of drops that nice scully, like worn skull, like not a fresh skull. I mean, he is a necromancer. Maybe the fresh skull look was fine. I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm doing my best to keep stuff in frame here for you guys. You know, I didn't even think about this when I did my first mini. I'm sure my mom would not be thrilled that, like, the very first thing I picked out was a Necromancer, but he was just, like, the cool new hot mini that I'd just picked up, and so that's why we went with this. That's why I went with this. It's not like there's a conglomerate that's supporting me. Although, if you own a conglomerate and you'd like to support me, you can email me at pardontheboardgames.com. Or if you have questions or anything else, you can hit me up there. pardontheboardgames@gmail.com. I don't know if I said that right. But anyways, that's the email address if you have questions, comments, concerns. Yep, just a nice wash of this around the back. Then we'll do something on this. I'm not sure what we're going to end up with over here, but we're going to do something. And we're also going to do some black in here in the cloak, just to darken that up a little bit. We used the blue tone the other day, and I feel like it got too blue, so we're going to focus on bringing some more black in. We'll probably highlight the tips with our dry paint or one of our layers. I'm not sure. We'll use something to highlight the tips of the cloak later. But I wanted to get some more. I wanted to be a little bit darker on both sides. I feel like it got too blue on the front, so. We're also going to do just a little bit of this on the staff. And what that's going to do is it's just going to add like another little layer of definition as we go down. And that's really the key with painting, is just finding how to get things to pop a little bit more, how to get slightly better results out of things. Do some up here on the skull, darken that up a little bit. We should do some on his hands too, or around his hands there. Again, we're just adding some definition here, cleaning up some of the places that don't look as detailed as we want them to be. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a little technical spirit stone red on the gem at the top of the staff. Let's see if that gives us a different look at all. This might not look as good because it's supposed to be done on like a white background, so I may go and paint this gem white, and then we'll see what it looks like or how glowy it looks. I'm going to do something that I feel like is, always a risk, but you got to take risks if you want to have a good looking mini. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to paint some of the ceramite white. Ooh, that is chunky. Some chunky paint. Now, this is the base paint, so this is one of the ones I just got recently. So if it's real chunky, I'll send it back to workshop. I think I'm going to be able to work with it. Well, I don't know. It's got huge chunks in it. Not a huge fan. Stir this sucker. Not a great look. That's no fun. Big nasty chunks in your paint. Gross. Alright. Now we're hoping that this will be pretty dry paint, so let me get some more of my brush here and just paint some on this paper towel over here so that some of the water gets absorbed. Okay. Dude, I'm just going to use another white paint because this stuff's not working how I want it to be. All right. well, I'm gonna change things up here, just because I'm not a huge fan of how some of these things have turned out. So my hope is this will still look real cool at the end. So we're going to use a Sigmarite Dry, which is a gold color. We're going to see if we can just make it look like he has some sick golden armor over top of his crazy self. Play the tambourine man. No, I don't know. Whatever. I'm just trying to have a good time. Like marshmallow fluff. Just working with some Bedab Black here. Just kind of going over a bunch of different parts of the mini. Going over the arms. And what this is going to do is just kind of tone down some of the brightness in some places, so that when we go into highlight here in a little bit, we don't have to worry about that as much. I'm going to grab just our blue tone. I'm going to put that on the sword. Whoops, that was way too much. Alright, so I kind of like where this guy is going. He's got kind of a dark, gritty feel to him. We've got to get a little bit more. I got to get one more blue paint. I got a little bit of gold on his face mask. I don't think it's the best look. We may try to brighten up that sword and make it look like super glowy. I'm not really sure what the path forward with that is going to be, but just doing some highlighting here on the cape, just on the edges a little bit. And I like the idea that maybe this guy like once was like a noble prince or a noble knight or something, but he's turned to the dark side. So I'm using a base color, which is, I don't know, it's just the color that I picked. It's a McCrag blue. That's kind of what I'm highlighting with here today. Again, just getting like tips of the cape and the loincloth that he's got down there. It's a little bright on his hood. I'm just going to put some of our Badab Black on there to help it sink in. This is an excellently designed model. I love this cape. This is maybe my favorite cape I've ever painted, but just hands off, top of the line stuff right there. Love it, love it, love it. Alright, so alright, the next stuff we're gonna do we're just gonna focus on the two weapons there, try to make them pop a little bit, and then we'll call this sucker done for now. Alright, I'll pull out a brush from Army Painter. This is called the Psycho, the Wargamer, the Psycho. So very small brush. There's my laundry. Still working on it from yesterday. I went to California. I didn't do my laundry before I went, so I ended up having a fair amount to do when I got back. This is Temple Guard Blue. I'm in frame, maybe not. You can see these cool runes on the stone. I'm a big fan of rune stones on swords. I feel like that's a neat. I feel like it usually gets put on evil guys' swords, but he could be a good necromancer. I don't know if there's any cases of good necromancers out there. It's pretty much an evil profession, I feel like, but Oops. It's a nice thing about paint. It'll forgive you sometimes. Alright. I kind of like where the sword is. I don't know if I'm going to do any more on it today, but we'll see. The next thing I want to do is I want to brighten up that gemstone at the top of the red staff, so we're going to do some highlighting there. And I probably should have picked my paint ahead of time, but I just didn't know how far we were going to get today, so joke's on you guys. Okay, got a couple different paints I'm going to work with here. We've got pure, these are all from Army Painter. We've got pure red, lava orange, and we've got dragon red. So we'll kind of figure out what we're going to do, but we'll kind of tidy up this staff over here, especially at the top of it. Just so you guys know, this is where the paint goes. It's a wet palette. It's called Sta Wet. That's where I work on. For any of my paints that don't have come in a Citadel paint pot. Now there's a cool thing on Kickstarter. It's like squeezy tops for the Citadel paint pots. I think it's already like super funded a million times over. I'll probably pick some up like at retail if they get good, because right now I'm broke, yo. Alright, here we go. So just gonna highlight some of the little pointy parts of this thing with this is a dragon red, so not the brightest red that we have. I've got a fair amount of paint on my brush, but that is mostly due to the fact that we've got like plenty to paint up here, and I'm not worried about needing real less. And this is actually not even though we're doing the details of the staff, this is not a super detailed section. It's pretty open. One of the things that I like about the Stay Wet palette is that it does keep your paints kind of semi-usable. I say that because like for washes and stuff like that, they're really not usable again, usually. But for like layer paints like these, it's still pretty manageable to use them again the next time. Okay, so the next color we're going to put in just a little bit of is our dragon orange. Nope, this is not dragon orange, this is lava orange. Sorry. I messed that up. By mess that up, I mean just feed you wrong information there. Kind of blending it in here on the back. The last thing we're going to do is grab our pure red. This is going to, that is way more than I want. We're getting the most highlighted areas. Get a skull this way. Oops. Okay. I'm going to try to get closer and closer to finishing up with this guy. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to grab some, well, I don't know. I think maybe what we'll do is we'll put a little bit of that white on this gemstone, and then we'll go back with our technical paint, and we'll try to brighten that up just a little bit. Meanwhile, we'll take some blue tone, go over the sword again. Which is hopefully going to bring out some of those details that we painted up here. Put some on the back too. Yikes. Whoa. Big boom. This one. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do while we're letting those things kind of settle, I'm going to put some Rhinoxide. I don't know if that's still available widely or not, but it's just a brown color. I'll put some of that around the base down here. Going back to our Citadel Fine Detail brush. Just kind of poke in here. Get all the edges that we couldn't get with that big fat brush. We'll take a little bit of our, let's see, yeah, we got some leather brown from yesterday that's still on there. Oh, chunky. Mix that in. When you're doing a base, you really don't want it to be like one uniform color. You want to get some different stuff in there. So we can throw some of our oranges and reds in there too. Just mix it all together. So hopefully, it's hard to see in the light there, but hopefully you can, oh, there we go. Hopefully you can see that it's not all just one color, it's kind of mixed around. Ooh, there's some great light. So, we'll put some of our fancy red on there. So I'm calling these paints now. Forget technical, they should just call them fancy. So here's Spirit Stone Red. We're going to put that on the staff. And then we're going to call this sucker good. I keep saying that we're going to call it good, but I always just, there's always something else I could do. So this is our dry Necron compound. I want to do some highlights on his armor up there. Alright. This is our dry Astaroth red. I'm just going to put a little bit of that on the brush. Not a lot. Red tone from Army Painter. Last little bit of Badab Black here. This is I think most painters' problem. They need to just be done, but they desperately want it to be perfect, and that's certainly how I'm feeling right now. I found this spot of cape down here that's like needs something. I don't want to leave it gray. All right, I think that is the Necromancer. We'll see. Check out our Instagram. It's Pardon the Board Games. We'll try to have some close-up shots of this guy, although you can get him right here on there. We'll do a quick little spin around. That's not a big white splotch. That is a hole in his cape. So yeah, there you go. Well, pictures on Instagram. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys had a good time. We'll be doing some board game reviews later. And as always, keep gaming, friends.